Hey, Lynn.
Yes.
You know what's strange? Life is strange.
It doesn't hurt me.
What was that?
Do you want to feel how I feel?
Yes, there you go. He gave it some effort. Do you remember that game, Life is Strange?
No.
Jack and I think Mark may have played it. It's about the girl. She's in this town, and there's this like tornado coming, and she has like powers.
Do you want to hear the deal I'm making?
Go away. All right, never mind. For those of you who know what Life is Strange is, give me a shout out. Give me a like on the video, please. Thank you. I love you.
Hello.
What are you talking about?
What am I talking about?
Before we do that,
Oh, okay.
I'm D.
This is Lynn.
Project Airwaves. We're back at it again.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't yet already, please check us out on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and all that other stuff. YouTube, Patreon. We love you. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and move on.
Hello.
So, what was that song? Where did that come from?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember. Oh wait, no, I just showed you, huh?
Yeah, where'd it come from?
I don't know why it's been playing. I don't want, dude. What is it? What is it? He says,
like, oh shit. It's dude. I don't remember. Oh no.
I don't know. I'm just trying to. I'm looking at the lyrics. I'm trying to remember. I'm stuck in a. I'm stuck in a loop.
Where the song came from? Well, not came from, but what was it on? Why are you?
And if I only could, I would make a deal with God.
He's still not.
Make a deal with God.
Why are you on that song?
Swap out places.
Somebody help
me.
me.
Running up that road.
He won't
because
stop.
I stubbed my toe. All right, I'm done. Yeah, it's been running in my head. Not running in my head. Damn, now I'm saying it too.
It's been running.
Yeah, it's been running up that hill.
Yeah, hold on.
I'm obviously super fucking. Well, I guess I'm not too far behind. Stranger Things, things that are stranger.
I mean, you can't be any farther behind than me.
Well, they did weird with it. They did weird with it. That's illiterate as fuck. Excuse my language. They did the last season and broke it off into sections like 1 through 7.
Yeah.
And then they did a part B, but it was 2 episodes. And part B was like episode 8 was an hour and a half, and episode 9 is 2.5 hours. Mm-hmm. So it's a miniature movie. Yeah, and I was showing D kind of like parts of the clips, trying to explain the concept of it.
The Snyder cut.
The Snyder, yeah, I got the Snyder cut. I got the good shit on there. I was just thinking it was cool. I mean, there's a few shows that, of course, I have to catch up on. But when you really get those A-listed shows, you know that the budget really gets put in when it's coming to a close. So this is like the last season, obviously. Yeah. And I didn't really care too much about it in the beginning. I was just kind of just watching it. It has a slow burn, right? And it builds up to this maximum, kind of how they try to do Game of Thrones. How the last few episodes were like phenomenal, and then the last episode was like...
And then they biffed it?
Yeah, they biffed it at the fucking end, so it became like a nothing of nothing. Yeah, no, that Kate Bush song has been popping up relatively frequently more times than not, and it's actually, it's pretty fucking catchy.
So what was happening when that song came on?
Mad Max. Oh, I don't know. I mean... Yeah, whatever.
Is it really spoiler territory? Who gives a shit?
People that actually want to watch this shit.
So then go watch it.
But then if you get it spoiled,
pause this video.
Would you
go watch it?
Would you, if I told you how something ended, would you still go watch it anyways?
Yes.
Really?
I don't care about spoilers because my thing is you can tell me how the movie's gonna end. Guess what? It's still gonna end.
It's like if I'm watching the movie and there's 20 minutes left. And then you tell me, oh, by the way, at the end, the serial killer kills everybody.
And that's fine, but
I'd be like, why would you
watching it for the cinematography.
That's
I'm
you.
watching it for the storyline.
That's you. That's a single mind mindset.
No, but there's a lot of people like
there's
me
too. There's a 5%.
No, it's not.
There's the other 95%
there's a lot of us who don't
that actually
care about
want to.
No, it's only if you're a sensitive
make a deal with God.
If you're a sensitive little bitch.
And start running up that hill.
Oh, God. No, I don't care about spoilers.
You know what? We should just swap places.
No.
Start running up that hill.
No. Stop.
Start running up that building.
Stuck.
Yeah.
Just like with the Batman guy.
Something in the way.
So why do you like Stranger Things? What's keeping you on?
You know what? You know, it's I feel like in order to watch something good, there was a couple shows I used to watch, like the DC shit, like Arrow, Flash, all that stuff. Yeah. But there'd be 30 fucking episodes, and each episode was an hour long. So realistically, you're not going to have the time to sit. I don't have a lot of time throughout my day. My day tends to be planned out to where I need to obviously go to work. I got to make sure I have time to do all these things before I go to bed.
Right.
And I can't sit there and binge watch 5-6 hours or something. And with a lot of these shows now, they're wrapping it up to make it to where, you know, it's only 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Maybe 6.
Yeah.
So they're maximizing the budget on it. And I liked how they did this where there's so many like aha moments, like, oh
Yeah.
shit. Like when I mentioned about the guy, how he ended up being one of the primary.
The guy with the thing on the guy.
Yeah, the guy with the
Yeah,
thing, that
that
thing, and he does the Thoya thing.
With that
Yeah,
thing.
the Thoya
Did
thing.
you get that thing I
Yeah.
sent you?
So, and he was like, totally, dude. And then I was like, really boned.
Where's he going?
I don't know.
He didn't stop.
So, long term, I don't know. I think just the way that movies are degressing, I'm noticing I'm going more in times I'm seeing movies in theaters and like, this is fucking trash.
And that's kind of something I've realized. I kind of like old school CGI as opposed to the new school
Well,
shit.
it's like what we were talking about the new DBZ. How CGI, there's 2.0 and then 2.5.
Right.
2.0
It's not too much.
2.0 is most animation now.
Yeah.
2.5 is what they transitioned in the new DBZ.
Yeah, where you can go around.
Yeah, you can go around and see them at angles, which
Yes.
brings you more into being in a 3D aspect of
Right.
being the audience. I like how some movies, how they're giving you the option to look at it in a more crisp environment without having to watch fucking 25 episodes worth.
What I've noticed, well, see, and that's what I guess that's the difference between like shows now and shows then. Like Star Trek, Next Generation. Shout out to all my Trekkies. Star Trek, Next Generation, and Voyager. They have long episodes. They're hour-long episodes. There's like 10, 15 episodes.
Not to cut you off. You know what I remembered I was listening to, of course, a Rogan podcast.
Of course.
He was saying it's the equivalent to people's attention span.
Yes.
Back in the day, people had longer-term attention spans.
Yes.
You could sit me down in front of a show and I could watch a 30-minute to an hour show for multiple seasons because
Yes.
my attention span was there. Now, people tend to lose track of focus. When is it the last time you've been around someone that hasn't been able to have to be on their phone when they're by themselves?
I mean, see, but that's unfortunately my line of work. I'm a little more isolated.
No, I'm saying
than
to pull.
average.
Yeah,
But in
that's
general-
that's true. That's true because you are more isolated. You're not out in public.
right. But
I'm
in
noticing
general,
when
people are always on their phone.
I will be at like an event. I'll be watching a UFC fight or I'll be out with friends and I notice it's like my phone is always in my pocket.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Oh,
with
yeah.
the people that I care about.
Yeah.
And when I'm with those people, they have a tendency to just want to go on their phone. They're not doing anything. They're just they're that mind muscle of I need to pull my phone out and look at it. They'll look through social media for 10 seconds.
It's the training. It's the training because it's social media. It's that constant feed of dopamine.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're constantly seeing something new, so it's exciting. So when you go somewhere and I have to wait for something to happen, they pull out their phone, they look for stuff, they want
Rather
a
than
dopamine
sitting
hit,
there and wait, yeah.
And then when it happens, they're like, "Oh shit, that was awesome," and then they're back on their phone.
Like
so it's a constant hit of dopamine.
It's a constant hit of dopamine coming through. I had to get on my boss about that today because I was trying to show her something because it was for the bikes since we just did the bike academy last week. I needed to set something up and her inability to focus on one thing at a time.
Right.
She's like messing with her arm while on her phone while doing something and she's
I
like
hate
she'll
that.
tell me you can continue. I'm listening.
No, you're not.
And I'm like, you're not
That's
giving me
not-
fucking eye contact. So I'll be like, hey,
you're hearing what I'm saying, but you're not comprehending.
I'm like, hey,
You're not
I need
critical
you to
listening.
come look and see what I'm pointing at.
Right.
And she'll walk in and she'll be like, okay, what am I looking at? I'm like, well, this is what's going on. She'll go right back to looking at her nails and looking at her phone. I'm like, dude, I got so fucking irritated. I walked in and I was like, never mind, I'll figure it out. And she's like, no, I was paying attention. I was like, I don't care. I was like, you're not looking at me. If you don't have the ability to give me the attention by giving me eye contact because
Come on now.
you need to stare at your phone or look at yourself in the mirror, it takes away that inability. And I feel like with what's happening now,
shorter seasons,
shorter shows, you're getting the full lump sum in an aspect because people have this attention span of a fucking goldfish.
Yeah, and that's kind of.
I
my
do
thing.
miss the
like
older shit, but
shows.
I miss the older shit because but you can't get an audience to stay tuned to a TV series that
that's
runs.
The thing. BBC, I guess. See, and I don't mean this, but I guess like people in the UK are just really boring because a lot of their shows are at least an hour long. At least, Being Human, Doctor Who, Luther. A lot of those shows are at least.
Maybe
an hour
this
long.
is a Western culture. I was talking about this before about the equivalent of like there's certain little aspects I was looking to about people going into Dubai and going to Bali and going to Fiji, and it's like their livelihood is based off of being around in open areas, opposed to in the Western where we're surrounded by cities. So we tend to cultivate
iron jungles. They call
them. We cultivate around that. If I'm the only person not on my phone, I feel like I'm the outsider.
You do, yeah.
And then once you go to these places like Bali and Dubai and stuff like that, like one of the guys that I was following, Andrew Tate, he's a multimillionaire, retired kickboxer and stuff like that. And he tends to be very aggressive with a lot of shit he says. He has this not stupid mindset, I'm sorry. He has this very logical mindset on breaking down things, the concept of not needing women for certain things because he can do everything as a man. So it becomes off being very sexist. But he made a point. He goes, why would you live in the Western states struggling to make money knowing you can get robbed on the drop of the hat? Why not come live in Dubai? And people are like, well, how the fuck can I afford that? He goes, you transfer all your money, you come over here, you know you're safe. Because crime is very low here because everybody is happily wealthy and being able to take care of themselves.
Like their base minimum is wealthy.
Yeah, she's like, you don't have to worry about being shot or stabbed or robbed because in the Western states, the United States and stuff like that, crime is so high because everybody's
trying to get what everybody else has.
Everybody's in poverty. So it takes into that aspect. It's like if you're maybe in the West, our movies are built like this and our styles are built like this, opposed, like you said, in the UK or in Australia or in Britain, their things are longer listing because it's a different part of the world.
It's a different.
They have a higher attention span. Opposed, we're Americans, we want something now.
Right.
We want fast food now. I'm hungry. I want to go to McDonald's and get a burger now.
Right.
Opposed,
and that's training.
Yeah.
You know, we've been programmed to live that, especially in Vegas. Everything is now, 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 now. If you're not open 24/7, you suck. Things have changed since, COVID hit. Now, not even Walmart stays open 24 hours anymore.
No, yeah. Walmart closes at like 11 now, which is crazy.
It's crazy, but you can tell, yes, the shortened attention span of the average adult, even child, is insane. You can see it in our commercials. You can see it in a lot of social media, if nothing else.
Sorry, can you grab my flask?
Your flask?
I'm thirsty.
Your big
all that
bladder.
all
That's
that
like
all
bladder.
that singing.
That's a bladder
got
of
my
a fucking moose, man.
got my quenched parched. My parched quenched. Thirst quenched.
You're feeling parched.
Thirst parched.
You need your thirst quenched.
I'm quenching and I'm thirsting because I'm parched.
You're a thirst trap.
I hate him. But go ahead.
But yeah, no, I really think that eventually things will come back. I feel like, things swing in all different directions. Cartoons used to be super duper cartoony before we got anime in the Western side. A lot of our cartoons are going anime style because that's more popular.
I don't more or less say, not to agree to disagree, but I don't feel like things are going to go back only because things have regressed so far forward. There is no way for us to revert back to how things used to be. Things are going to change in an alternate direction. So what the old shit used to be, no different than living in the times in the 50s. Like our parents used to give us shit for the music we listened to. Because how are you listening to this garbage? Back in the day, people used to sing and do a cappella and stuff like that. And now we're listening to heavy grunge.
But at the same time, the old always comes back. Bell bottoms came back. Overalls came back.
Don't know where you're at where either one of those came back. Those
Stranger Things. They're literally about
that's
the
in the
80s.
But it's because it's stationed in the 80s.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's old. So old always finds way to permeate into the present.
I get what you're saying. So it's not an actual livelihood thing. It's more or less just a nostalgia base.
Yeah, it's always that. It's always a
nostalgia gives you an ability to build off of it, but you can't rewrite history. So if you're just reusing the same thing 100 times over, it loses its ability.
You don't want to go back to what was.
And then show it 100 times.
Bridge the two gaps. It's like, I like the steampunk look where it's like old and new together.
That makes sense.
And it's like it blends well when you do it right.
Right.
All right. You feel good?
I'm good.
All right, dig it. On to the next one.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. What's next?
I
didn't even write anything down.
I know you suck because this is my topic.
I
got a thing about claustrophobia.
Oh, yeah, that thing.
Did you? I was gonna say, did you just see what he did?
You know what? I apologize. I did that today and I shouldn't have done it. I got a dirty look from one of my coworkers because a student was going through a rough time from one of the things that we had to teach, and I kind of just
no sympathy.
No, I shrugged it off and I said security isn't for everybody, and I kind of just like nodded it off, and I could see the expression on her face, like it's kind of fucked up. And she packed her stuff out of the conference room we were and walked to go check on the student because there was already a counselor with them. Because one of the people that we had to use, not to say, like I said, it's not that I don't have emotions. I've desensitized myself to it.
Well, and this is your day-to-day routine.
Yeah, one of the things was I think it was the program was called Stay Safe, and it's the concept of like human trafficking and prostitution and
see something, say something,
and it's a 2-hour course of breaking down how to profile. Can men be sexually assaulted by men?
Oh yeah.
Can women be sexually assaulted by women? And it profiles that, and one of the students was going through that of like, I've experienced that, so she couldn't physically be there.
Essay,
and I understood it, so we let her walk out, but she milked what a 2-hour session would have been because there's multiple slides that we're teaching and there's multiple guests. Like before that was Canine. Canine came in with their dogs and they showed how they can sense bombs and stuff like that. Cool little side note. Sorry, I'm not trying to pull away from your thing.
Okay, you always do.
Squirrel moments.
Nut.
There was 2 dogs that they had, right? And I've never actually seen Canine do this thing. So they put a specific scent in an area to see if the dogs can smell it.
Yeah.
And they do it in the little cubicle area, and they're like, okay, let the dogs go around. One dog want to find, the guy's like, oh, sniff over here. And the dog goes up and tries to move around, sniffing that area, paws it to mark it, and then walks away. And he's like, the dog knows where this is, but I'm pulling his nose away to try and make him find something else. But he knew to go to where this copy machine was and started trying to dig underneath it.
Yes.
So when he started going to it, he was digging that spot, and they said, okay, this is Lucky. This is how Lucky looks for things.
Yes.
Lucky's this kind of dog. He's like, we're going to show you the difference between Lucky and Roger. So Roger comes, and it's cool because Roger's doing the same thing. He's sniffing around, he's looking, because you thinking all dogs are relatively universal. Mm-hmm. So as the dog's sniffing around, he gets to where the same spot is, and he's tapping on the counters and going on different areas, and he gets to that spot. He pauses, points his nose, and picks up his paw. And just stays there.
Yes.
He said Roger is part of the Doberman thing, which they're pointers. So when they find things, they point.
Just point.
And everybody was like, holy, that was crazy. That two dogs, same build, same style, but because they're two different styles, I've just never seen a dog point to show something.
Yes, because Doberman,
like how bloodhounds know how to bark a certain way when they're hunting things.
Dogs are bred for hunting.
Yeah.
Doberman Pinschers and I forget, I think not Rottweilers, but it's another breed. They're made for hunting, so they need them to be quiet because they're hunting quail, foxes, rabbits, like that. So they want the animal they want the dog to find the animal
my thing is,
without spooking
that's
them.
A genetic. That's not something you're training a dog. The dog just naturally it's in their genes to be able to do that. So
and that's what I mean. But they bred that specific gene through
so it's a bred.
It's
not a purebred.
Right.
Okay.
It's a thing that's been bred. It's like we want that specific quality.
Yeah.
Kind of like a blue nose pit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I see, and that's because I'm a nerd. I grew up watching the Animal Planet and Discovery Channel, so I watched Dog Whisperer with Caesar.
Oh God, dude! So I used to think that was a joke.
I learned about all
because he got his
stuff.
Ass bit so many fucking times.
Not to mention, I grew up with dogs, German Shepherds, big dogs.
Yep.
Getting back to my topic,
go right ahead.
Asshole.
You tell me how you're scared of dark places or some
so for those of you
stuff like
who are
that.
Not an inhuman, unfilling asshole,
I know. I'm sorry.
I in previous episodes talked about one of my fears is claustrophobia.
Because you better treat me nice, or I'm going to put you in the closet.
I'm so sorry. Nobody puts baby.
Nobody puts baby in the closet. Nobody puts baby in the corner. But you put him in the closet, and there's something wrong.
Technically, if you're in a closet, wouldn't you be in a corner? I mean, R. Kelly's going to be in a closet for 30 years.
Yeah, but not in a corner.
Prison corner.
What?
He might be in a corner with.
You know what? And what? I don't understand what
you didn't hear? He's going to jail for like 30, 40 years.
He's already in jail.
Well,
he's in prison.
They sentenced him. Like, he's officially doing time now.
How long ago was that? And why is it a thing now?
Because he's been pretty much holding everything up in court,
trying to withhold and trying to
and the court's been trying to get as much evidence as possible. So now they actually convicted him. He's going to prison.
It's all a fucking scam. Not to say that R. Kelly wasn't a piece of shit for doing what he did. I'm saying it's a scam for how long, because it's not the fact that they couldn't convince him
It's money.
There. It's money. Everybody needs to collect their checks. Everybody needs to make a little extra, so they want to extend out a court case that did not need to be extended out.
Yeah.
That was millions of dollars, I'm sure.
He was trying to stay out of jail. He was hoping they would just drop. And I don't know what details. I'm just saying that's what I heard.
But let's go on about your underphobia,
he's still
exophobia,
he's still doing it.
Wienerphobia.
He's still doing it.
Claustrophobic.
Asshole.
Was it phasmophobia?
Oh, that the game they played?
Yeah, with Mark and all of them, yeah.
Well, this is claustrophobia. So you have an issue with tight spaces and or in certain situations you can feel as though the walls are closing in around you.
My mother's claustrophobic.
And
I know
so
that's a thing too.
I was curious. I've been watching things about thalassophobia, which is one of the phobias I said I had, which is a fear of deep, dark bodies of water.
What is it called?
Thalassophobia.
Thalassophobia. Interesting.
And so when I'm afraid of something, I want to experience it still, just maybe not in person, not real time. So yes, while I'm claustrophobic, I want to watch people either deal with their claustrophobia or people who aren't claustrophobic get into claustrophobic situations. So a perfect example of that, I was watching a movie called Crawl or Die. Great movie. I think it was on Netflix at one point. It's ultimately about this girl. She's trying to save another girl, and they are forced to crawl through ever-tightening tunnels as they go, and it just gets really tight at one point.
People do that shit. There's that
for fun.
There's that movie as above, so below.
Yeah.
You ever seen that, where it's like this weird horror movie where they go into a certain part? It's like Dublin or some shit like that, where they go into a thing and it said it's a path, like a hiking path, and it goes into a tunnel, and on the tunnel above it says, like, someone spray painted it saying this is hell.
Yeah, the hellhole.
Yeah, and they go into it, and it starts to literally crunch into that, where it's like you're crawling and your chest is pinned up against the wall.
That's the stuff I've been watching. They're I almost call them cave divers. They're not. They're cave explorers.
Cave explorers, yeah.
And this shit's been going on since the 30s and 40s, which blew my mind. I thought that was a fairly recent.
No. It's been on.
This has been going on forever. But it was one of the things of now that technology has advanced the way it has, we can actually see them going through the caves as opposed to looking at pictures and listening to stories. So one of the channels I started watching, it's this guy and his son, and they'll either try and chart new caves, or they'll just go through a cave that, like, they go through lava tubes. Mm-hmm. So where lava comes down,
where it's already been formed and shit.
Yeah, so they'll go into lava tubes that no other human has entered before, and they'll go and like chart this thing, but they're crawling inches. They're moving inches, millimeters at a time. In some cases, they're just, it's like all you can do is just breathe and be patient and just slowly trudge through this long, tight tube. And so it really messed with my head at first, but then it's like after you get past the fear, I understand the excitement. Because it's like you and me, we're adrenaline junkies.
Yeah.
We like to do shit that gets the blood pumping because it makes you feel alive.
Yes.
So at first I was like, these people are stupid, they're goofy, they have a death wish, they're suicidal, all this stuff. That wasn't the case, especially with a lot of these, cave explorers and people. That's their adrenaline rush. That's that thing that they like. That's what gives them that energy to wake up in the morning. So who am I to judge? However, watching that shit...
It fucks with you if you're dealing with a phobia and stuff like that.
Butt cheeks puckered, balls are fully retracted. I am not comfortable.
There was a video, and it was these two guys talking about the equivalent of they were explaining. He said he was talking to a guy. He said, "Yeah, man, I was going through this thing, and my body, I was doing this." And he's like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "You're puckering, when your cheeks pucker, and they do this thing." I'm like, "That's fucking weird."
Yeah, prairie dog.
Yeah, you're prairie dogging it. No, but I mean, I get it. I don't, not unfortunately, I guess more or less. I don't have any phobias. I
think you just haven't explored yourself enough.
No,
everybody's afraid of something. That's human instinct.
I'm not. I can't think of anything because there's things.
That's fair.
If you ask me, like, have I done something? Shoot in the dark, and I feel like I've already done it. I've thought about doing
a lot of stuff you've done.
Exactly. Like I've gone cliff jumping. I've done race car driving. I've done. I've wanted to do skydiving. That's something I want to do.
We've gone drifting.
I've gone. What is that? I've gone cave exploring.
Yeah. Not quite to that extent.
No.
Yeah.
A long time ago, I can't remember where it was. It's a mountain, not like Lone Mountain, but you live.
Is that where you say you ran into the bobcats or whatever?
Yeah. Where we started in a cave. You can tell there's a bonfire there. You have to. It's. If a mountain was like this, there was a little mountain inside of it. Mm-hmm. It was a mountain inside of a mountain, and it was all broken up rock. And as you get up to the peak of the inside of it, you're inside a mountain, inside a cave, and it pushed you to a point where your chest is on a bunch of little rocks. And you had to crawl over to go back down. We got all the way down, and it pushed us on the backside of the mountain, and that's where we saw a set of eyes.
Yeah.
Where it was like coyotes. There was a mom coyote with a bunch of baby ones.
That's a hardcore.
And they were walking towards us because of that. So I've done stuff like that. I've done hot air balloons.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way I could do that.
There was a hot air balloon festival a long time ago. I went to that.
No. And don't get it twisted. I'm not...
I've done surfing. I've done snowboarding.
I'm not happy about my phobias. I think they keep me alive more than anything.
Well, no, more or less. It's not that you're doing a phobia that's going to kill you on the drop of a hat. It's the equivalent of if you're not going in, like if someone just dropped you in a situation and they told you to survive, that phobia is going to kill you. You're going in prepared to deal with something that... You're not the only person to ever do it.
Right.
I would never try something brand new that nobody's done.
Right.
If I've heard, millions of people have done skydiving, you could do it too. I'm like, well, why would I be the one person that died? I'm a 1%. It's such a small fraction.
It is.
So
and
that's
like
what stops
things like that.
That's what stops. That's what makes it to where I do not have phobias because I think if it's going to happen to me, it's such a minute amount that it's not going to happen. And if it does happen, it's because it's supposed to happen.
Yes.
So if I die, it's like, okay, well, I was supposed to.
Well, and that's the thing with a phobia. It's irrational fear.
It is. It's irrational.
So it's where your mind disengages. Because you know me, I'm logical as fuck.
Yes.
I will logic my way out of a paper bag.
Logic can be a pro and con, though, because it does. You start to overthink, and I know people that are like that, where they're too smart for their own good.
Yes.
So they overthink a situation to where the situation isn't going to happen.
Right.
We're like, I'm going to get in my car and fuck. What if I'm in traffic and my stomach hurts and I gotta use the bathroom?
Right, it's like you short circuit before you even start.
Before it happens. Let it run its course and then break it down as it's happening.
Right.
Because it's not gonna change anything. Now you're just not doing it.
Right.
Which is like, okay, if you don't put yourself in the situation, nothing happens.
Right.
I can't, and this is just me, I need a consistency of, like you said, thrill seeking.
Yeah.
I need something to look forward to. I need to be able to know that at the end of the tunnel there is an amusement park. There's something. Because if you're just putting me on this basic bullshit of just a 9 to 5 where I'm doing nothing new, I go fucking crazy.
Right. And
because then what is the point in living?
That's why I think I was so wild when we were younger.
Yeah.
It was like I led a very sheltered life, and after a while I was just like, fuck it.
And it becomes a thing where people have a midlife crisis where they're like, I spent so much time grinding that now in my 40s and 50s, I want to go fucking buy a Ferrari and drive off a cliff because it's fun.
I don't want to do that, but I would like to do some adventurous
It needs to be in moderation.
Yes.
As long as you can control what you're doing. Like, I'm not saying I'm not going to go cliff diving every fucking month.
Did you hear that buttery smooth transition in his voice right there?
What happened?
He was like, you got to control.
You got to control.
Yeah. You went all Pappy's painting on me.
Pappy's painting. I want to put that out there because there's a lot of people, and I don't expect everybody to be relative to how I am. Being cautious is a good thing. Being financially stable, being sure that you have a plan is a good thing. Making sure that things are structured, that you can execute it without having any backdraft. Like, I know that when I come home, there's food in my fridge because I was smart enough to go buy groceries.
Right.
So I'm not starving and fast fooding and stuff like that. There needs to be discipline. My thing is break that discipline into a 3-week program and then have 1 week where you're just doing what you want to do and enjoy. It's equivalent of having a structured bodybuilding thing and then having a cheat meal.
Yes.
You don't look forward to training and eating rice, chicken, and broccoli.
Right.
You look forward to, In-N-Out is on Friday.
Right.
So let me survive Monday through Thursday.
Right.
So use that. My thing out to people is use that time, use that week to grind, and then look forward to a random day. Don't wait to
just change topics.
No,
I was talking about claustrophobia.
Yeah, and
you're talking about grinding.
I'm saying that your claustrophobia can be a blessing and a curse.
How?
Don't let it cripple you to enjoy new things.
It doesn't.
It does.
It does.
Would you go? If I asked you right now,
did we go hiking?
But we did not go cave.
Oh
exploring.
no, I wouldn't.
See?
And that's for a specific reason.
Explain.
I will explain.
Yes.
Because I'm not 120 pounds.
What does that have to do with
those
it?
caves are extremely tight.
Yeah, okay.
I'm 300 pounds.
Yeah. So I'll get you in a cave that can fit a 300-pound man.
Then find it. I'll go into it.
But you will still have to
Did I not jump off the cliff when we went cliff diving?
Yeah, and you know what you did? You almost drowned.
Yeah, but did I do it?
But did you die?
Did I do it?
Did you die?
Did I stop?
After you hit me?
I didn't stop. We
No.
still kept exploring. I still went swimming after that.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, that day, we all puked up water.
Because
for
you
like
almost
an hour.
drowned. It almost killed me with you. But because of that, you had an story from that.
Yes.
So, going into an area where you're claustrophobic, all this bullshit.
Yes.
You're going to come across something that is going to be so life-changing. Because that was a life-changing experience.
Oh, yeah.
It changed your whole persona.
Yes.
You need to be able to experience those. What happens, which is what you did, which is a perfectly healthy response. The minute you try to put someone against their claustrophobia of why you should try this, they start giving you reasons why they won't.
Yes.
Rather than saying, okay, well, what's the worst that's going to happen?
And that's what I was talking about with me trying to explore my phobias.
Mm-hmm.
It's more or less understanding why I have it and then trying to figure out a way to either circumvent it or it's like, let's face it head on. So that's what I mean.
Exposure,
I will watch
yes.
it. It's easy for me to, well, not easy, but it's easier for me to watch it. And it's like, I'll go through all the emotions,
Yes.
but I'm in the safety of my
You're
house.
in the safety of your house. So go to the phase 2. Once you get past that emotional spot
Yes.
of not being able to do it, go into phase 2. I'm a big advocate, and I feel like I like to be this form of a vessel. I like to be around people that experience things for the first time.
Yes.
Going to a concert for the first time, doing a PR at the gym for the first time, eating a food for the first time. I like to share that with people because I like to see that enjoyment of, fuck, this is crazy. Why did I pass this? Like just you were telling me before. I explained to you the peanut butter bar, the perfect bar, fucking phenomenal. And then you tell me what you said.
I told my girl about it. We went to the store. I suggested it. She loves it.
Yeah.
She loves it. I hate peanut butter.
I love peanut butter.
He loves peanut butter. This cat will just eat peanut butter by itself.
It's just it's things that it's a cool and it feels good to where I feel like with my experience of doing so many fucking things that, and there's more that I want to do, 100 million things I want to do, and I'm gonna do it in my time frame before I die or before I get to the point where I just can't physically do it.
Yeah.
I want people to experience these new things because what the fuck is the point in doing it by yourself if there's no one to experience it with?
Right, and that's what I mean. Like when it comes to trying to face my fears, I will usually do it with somebody else.
Yes,
because sometimes I freak out and I need that.
This guy.
Yeah,
I'll go with
I need that rational mind that's
I'll
just
go with
like,
you.
hey, you're good, we're good, keep pushing. So certain things like that, like we talked about going skydiving, that's going to have to be a thing for me. I have acrophobia.
I'm doing it.
Deathly afraid of heights. Hate not having control. But that is probably the biggest adrenaline rush you can get on this planet.
I will do it. I was talking to my dad and my
Jumping out
brother
of a
about
plane.
it. And there's one here in Vegas.
Yes.
We will do a small one.
Yes.
We will do a small one.
Well, I hope, because didn't you say they charge more for your weight?
Noah was saying, well, this is when Noah did it because my brother did skydiving in Hawaii
A few months ago?
a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, a month ago. He went with a bunch of friends and he said he did it. And they charge per pound a certain amount, depending. Anything over 200 pounds. So you would have to deduct your weight down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if not, you're paying an arm and a leg.
Right. See,
but that is Hawaii, mind you. They have to go higher because of the islands. If we're doing
I'm sure
it
out
in
here
areas,
they're not going to take you if you're 600 pounds.
Well, no,
I'm
realistically,
3,
no.
so I mean, I imagine it's going to be pushing it.
But I feel like you could drop down 20 pounds. And
I've
then
started exercising. I definitely want to.
And you have this. I was talking to someone about this. You have this annoying genetic gift to where most of us have to actually diet and cut our calories and do cardio and do stuff. This guy, he could do one push-up, boom, 5 pounds done. He could take the creamer out of his coffee, boom, 5 pounds done. He could go walk up a hill, boom, 20 pounds. He takes a shit, boom, 20 pounds. And all of a sudden, he's like, oh, hey, Lynn, by the way, I'm 250, pulls up his shirt shredded. It's just... The genetics you have is a blessing that a lot of us want, and you can turn the switch on enough to be lean and be thick in between.
Yes.
Opposed to almost like we're stuck being thick. I'm a thick boy because my body wants to be thick.
Yeah, because like I was telling Lynn, I went on we went hiking obviously for Father's Day.
You went on an adventure.
That really lit the fire under my ass to get back into exercise. Maybe not the gym per se, but exercise. So I went on a 3-mile walk yesterday. Included calisthenics, and it's like I was telling him, the body almost never forgets.
It's muscle memory.
My muscles remember, but they're just not strong enough to actually do it.
The conditioning.
So I'm really wanting to get back into that, but that's a different story for another day. I might even save that for our sessions. Look forward to that. Okay, so that's all I got. No, that's not all I got. If you have a fear, find a way to face it, overcome it, be a badass.
Face your fear.
All right?
That's your
all I
mind.
got. You got anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right, on to the next
Bye.
one. If you made it this far, thank you. If you didn't, I don't care anymore.
What? Oh God, that's dark. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this topic is dark.
This topic
you
is
give
dark.
me you lead it in. We'll keep this sweet, short, and simple. I'm gonna give you my feedback as a person that's very enwrapped with law enforcement, and then you give me your feedback as.
So am I.
You were.
No.
I still am.
Yeah, no. Working wise, my parents are still both cops.
I forget about that.
Still,
you are right. You're correct. You were correct, sir.
Yes.
Go ahead. Bring it. Bring it.
So, real quick, we're gonna talk about. Let me make sure I get the name right. Jayland Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. So the long and short of it, Jayland, from how I understand, got pulled over earlier by the police.
Where was this?
You know, actually, that's the
one. There you go. Oh, no shit.
That's the one thing I didn't look up.
Yeah.
Where was
the
this?
breakdown? Fuck, I didn't even know that. It was in my home state. It was in
Ohio?
Yeah, Akron, Ohio.
Okay. So he got pulled over earlier that day.
Oh, I did not know this. And like I said, I subscribed to Donut Operator.
Told me I could lead.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It just caught me off guard. I see Ohio and I'm like, uh-oh. Do I know this place? And I know where Akron is. That is not far from my hometown. Go ahead.
No. Well, so he got pulled over earlier that day. The police let him walk. They gave him a slap on the wrist, let him walk. Apparently, later on that day or shortly thereafter, he went to his mom's house, from how I understand it, borrowed her Buick, and decided to go driving with the suspended license, or like some type of tail light was out or something. The police pretty much pulled him over again for a routine traffic violation. Unfortunately, Mr. Jayland did not stop for the second pullover and decided to.
So he got pulled over twice in the same day.
Yes.
Two different vehicles, or
yeah, two different. It's as far as I understand, it was two different vehicles. The second time they went to pull him over, he did not stop. Decided to lead the police in a high-speed chase.
I'm skimming through the body cam footage.
The
stuff
body
right
cam
now,
footage is, first of all, that's pretty much your evidence right there. Yes, body cam footage can be fucked with, but 9 times out of 10, the cops will give you legit raw footage.
Yeah, it's very, very rare. Having a roommate that was,
Oh yeah,
she's a cop. I've asked her questions about that too, about how they track her body cam footage. It all gets uploaded, and it's
they scrutinize the fuck out of it.
It's not like you record it and then you take it to the precinct.
It's on like a black box in your car.
It's a streaming and
in the unit.
It's in the unit, but it's attached to a box that you have on your chest.
Oh yes,
so you tap and say, operator off, operator on.
Yeah.
And when it's recording, it's a streaming thing.
Yeah.
It's not like I can fucking save it and then go on my computer and start changing shit.
Well, no, but what I mean, there's a black box in the car.
Yeah.
So it records all the footage from there. Now, can they do it live? I'm sure they can.
Yes, they can also do it live. Most of the time, most of the time it's live.
Now, unfortunately for Mr. Jayland, he decided, after leading the cops in a high-speed chase, and apparently from how it appears, firing off a single round out of the car during the chase, he decided to pull over and get into a foot pursuit with the police. And then shortly after the foot pursuit began, he turned around in some type of strange manner, that the cops felt their lives were in danger.
That's a lot
and
of fucking people
decided,
following him, man.
dude, there was
Oh,
like
holy
10, 15 cops on his ass.
Holy shit.
So as he turned around, cops opened fire.
You know what that's called? It's called a magnum. A magnum means you're stripping all the rounds from the mag, meaning if you have a 15 round gun in the magazine, and like a Glock, my Glock carries 15 rounds. You do a mag dump means I'm shooting all 15
they dump
bullets.
the clip.
I'm emptying the clip. You don't call it a clip, but it's a magazine. Yeah.
But it's so unfortunately. So my thing is, I don't have an issue leading up to the point of where he got shot. It's the excessive amount of shots. So from how I understand, the officers fired a total of 90 rounds, and 60 of those rounds hit Jayland, which, overkill. Because most cops are taught to, 2 shots, one in the chest, one in the head, or 2 shots to the chest will usually put anybody down. Now, I will give the cops a slight pass because they did attempt to tase Jayland during the foot pursuit. I don't know if the tasers didn't make contact or if he just wasn't responsive to it.
Right.
But if you know anything about police, you know anything about high-speed chases and foot pursuit, when a cop has to go beyond that point of, hi, my name is Officer such and such, I pulled you over for such and such, I need your, ID, registration, whatever. When you push a cop past that point, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get shot. And unfortunately, in a case where Jayland is African-American, your likelihood, especially when you lead the cops on a high-speed chase and a foot pursuit, your likelihood to get shot by the police just it blows through the roof. Now, I mainly wanted to cover this topic because of the backlash the police officers are getting. People are trying to turn this into a race war. Like, oh, they only shot him because he was black. They only did this because he was black. And I strongly disagree. This man literally did everything wrong and got the exact consequences of his actions. As a black man, you do not run from the police, ever, in anybody's car, especially your own. So the high-speed chase, you failed. You got in a foot pursuit.
I'm still looking at this video, and it's crazy how many people lit this guy up.
The only way I think he could have survived this is if he literally threw himself on the ground, splayed out, like hands, feet spread out. Maybe the cops wouldn't have shot him.
The thing is the body cam footage, because they can't show actual causes of death on these kind of videos. Oh, yeah, because you can see one of them deployed a taser. They already shown that over there. They attempted to tase, but I think it's the jerk reaction of him turning so fast, even if you deploy the taser. It looks
suspicious.
They're already shooting him before they actually had a chance to deploy the taser. I think what his reaction was is because he turned, they heard he fired an arm. Now, did they fire a firearm on him?
So he fired a shot prior to any of this during the high-speed chase.
Yeah, gets out of the car.
So that's when the cop let everybody know he's armed. When a cop has to tell his other fellow officers, when he identifies that the suspect is armed, his whole mindset, his or her, their whole mindset changes. It's no longer friendly and happy. Hey, how you doing? My name is such and such. It is now, I have to make sure I go home. The guy with the badge goes home. The bad guy, the villain, the perp, sometimes unfortunately has to get put down. My thing is, like I said, I want to give you guys my 2 cents on it because I feel this was justified.
I'd have to do more of my research into it because I did, like I said, I skimmed past it. There's so much shit that's going on. I don't pay attention to all of it, but seeing the body cam footage of what's going on, seeing that, they got their tasers deployed out and stuff like that with them. It's crazy the tasers are yellow opposed to Metros being black or orange. You can't deploy a taser and match it with someone that's carrying a fucking Glock at the same time because obviously the Glock's going to fire more. You're going to dump a Glock round faster than you are. A taser's only got 1 cartridge to it.
Yes.
So they'd never even had a chance to use the taser. So their justification is, okay, we deployed the taser, so we were going to tase him, but then the officer shot him because he went to go.
But that's what I mean, though. At that point,
it's just there's the body camera. Just you know what? Yeah, because he did turn around.
That's what I'm saying. At that point, like even put yourself in that situation. Would you not have fired?
Oh no. And this is 100%. I'd have lit him up. I'd lit him up. But now the concept of one thing that which makes it wrong, and even watching Donut Operator because he's ex-military and ex-law enforcement, he was saying everything's justified.
Yes.
Regardless of being a race
from start to finish.
From start to finish.
It was justified.
What isn't justified is a 90 round mag dump.
Yes.
Where every officer, and you see there's
everybody, there's like 5,
8 to
6,
10
guys,
people there.
and they just let rip.
Each in what they all look like they're carrying Glock 17s or Glock 19s, which there you go. See, yes, they're
that
all
was
carrying
in his car.
Yeah,
that's what they found in his car.
But they're all carrying the same thing.
So that's what I mean. You're armed.
Yeah,
they're going to pull guns. They're going to.
Everybody's firing 15 rounds, but 15, dude, 90 rounds is the body can't even.
Excessive.
And 60 of them hit. So it's like you can't even identify
You're
the body.
At that point.
There's nothing left that person.
They couldn't identify the difference between an entry wound and an exit wound. That's how much he'd been hit.
That's excessive.
Like I said, that's excessive. That's the one part I say the police faulted on.
It's improper training.
But I mean, at that point, I was gonna shoot you anyway.
Now, mind you, this is you're also comparing it to the Metropolitan Police Department here in Vegas, in Las Vegas, is one of the best in the country. A lot of people come from different states to train under Metro.
Yeah,
Akron is not that big. Mm-hmm. So when you go to Akron, it is a bigger city. It's obviously bigger than Orville. It's bigger than Worcester. It's bigger than Smithville. But when you get to Akron, I would compare Akron to it's Henderson. It's a portion. Mm-hmm. It's a portion. They've got little bits and pieces of it. It's not huge, but these officers probably don't come across crime in an extent to know how to show self-control.
Like that.
If this happened in Metro, cut that 90 rounds down to 60, 30 hits them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They have a better control standard. It's more or less, it comes across the same thing to kind of sum this up. It's police training and consistency on their training.
Yes.
They get trained, and this is going based off of me working for the fucking casinos. You get officers that come across really scary near-death experiences, and they try to rely on their training.
That leaves a mark.
But their training is once every 2 years.
Yeah.
That does me no good.
And it reinforces old standards.
Old standards. You don't know what Akron's training is. They might be trained once, twice a year, and they're like, okay, I only know to chase after the subject. The minute they call on me, I have to mag dump. Some states, now it's not something that I agree on, some state laws are different. Nevada does not have a law like that. You can't mag dump because of the velocity of the city.
Yeah.
How prostitution
You'll shoot people.
How prostitution is illegal because we have over 1 million people here.
Yeah.
But it's legal in Nye County because the population is lower.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so
interesting.
One of my coworkers told me that because we talk about human trafficking and stuff like that, and people ask when guests come, like, oh, where can I go pick up a girl? Right. We don't give them shit for it because they're like, well, I heard in Vegas you can pick up girls. Like, no, in Nevada you can.
Right.
But you need to go to Nye County.
Here.
Nye or Wayne County.
Right.
Like, well, what's the difference? It's the capacity.
Yeah.
You can't run brothels in places that are over 1 million.
Huh.
So it's the same thing. If you have a high capacity, I can't go to fucking New York City and do a mag dump.
Yeah.
Because there's well over 1 million people. It's the same thing in Vegas. You can't do a mag dump in...
And that makes sense. I never even thought about that.
Those are small rural areas. So maybe mag dumps are justified.
But see, and the thing I want to touch on is the race aspect of it. Mm-hmm. Because now, Lynn, you were raised slightly different. Lynn's mom is Caucasian. Stepfather is Hispanic. Mm-hmm. I was raised by black mother, black grandparents. So our perspectives are slightly different when it comes to certain situations of race. Lynn's had different experiences from me. My experience, because both of my parents are law enforcement. My stepfather is retired Air Force and law enforcement. He was a sergeant at the DMV before he retired. They have trained me. They have beat into my skull exactly what I need to do if a cop pulls me over. You see those lights go up. Once that car lights up, you pull over. Just pull over to the right. Turn off the car. Put the car in park. Turn off the car. Put both hands on the steering wheel. You want to make the officer feel as comfortable as possible so that their threat level or their threat meter is as low as possible. So you are in the lowest denominator, the lowest
only thing is,
to get shot.
and I do agree, you're giving an education to a lot of people that have different opinions to that. Some people think that because, no different than if you go to trespass somebody from a casino. Like, I'm kicking you out. You're not supposed to be here. Like, well, I paid for this room, so this is my room, so I can do what I want. One of the things that they were saying for one of the Stay Safe one for sexual harassment and all that stuff, if you buy a hotel room, you can have sex inside that room. Mm-hmm. If there's a balcony attached to that hotel room, can you have sex on the balcony?
No.
Why not?
That's indecent exposure.
But you own the room, right?
No.
Exactly.
You don't own the room.
Exactly. That's what happens with this. People think that when they're doing a certain thing that you can't.
It's free across
it's
the
free.
board.
Yeah. You can't remove me from my car because this is my car.
Of course,
it's like I can't. It turns into a federal law, meaning that if a peacekeeper, law enforcement comes and makes contact with you, they have the right to do whatever they want.
Now you're obstructing justice.
But then it becomes in that weird scenario of, okay, do I trust getting pulled out of here? Is the cop is he have good intentions? Is he a good person?
Right.
We come in this weird area where it's like, yes, we want to tell them to do the right thing of, put your hands on the steering wheel, don't do any sudden jerk movements, don't do this, don't do this.
Right.
But then they've seen the experience of, well, fuck, I follow the rules, and yet this cop still does the bad thing.
And that's what I want to talk about, because we've seen this happen with black people before. The cop shooting the young man in the car with his wife. Simple traffic stop. The cop felt a certain type of way, shot the guy in the driver's seat right next to his fiance. We have the young African-American girl who took the knife out to confront her bully, and unfortunately ended up getting shot by the officer that was called to the scene. We see this time and time again. And what I'm going to say about this, as many others have, we need to get all of the details before you form an opinion.
Yes.
Once you have all the details, by all means, say what you have to say.
Say what you chest.
The problem is that people are forming their opinions before they get all the information.
One of the things that I teach in VDI and verbal defensive influence is the concept of perception, meaning when you approach something, we'll show scenarios just like this, like one I'm bringing up with you right now, where the more you know. The more you know. There's instances where it's like something is happening, and I replay the video 3 times, and I always get the student's opinion, like, hey, so tell me what happened. It'll be like there was a video of a pool party where sorry, I wanted to show you this video, but I'll play it here in a minute. There's a video of a pool party. An officer has this BFA, black female adult, and he pulls her down by her hair to the ground.
Oh.
And there's all these other BFAs around, throwing their hands around, getting ready to beat up this officer, and the officer's screaming at them to get back. He's shoving them back. And he goes to start pulling out his handcuffs, and a guy comes on his side with his firearm.
And gets him.
And goes to get him, pulls up his pants to go and hit him. So the cop, Metro, they have, or at least this is for Metro more or less, their gun holster, it's called a rocker. What the rocker does is
it's a lock.
It's a lock to stop someone from pulling it. So you need to know how to withdraw. I mean, you need to know to tilt it, pull, and go. Now those rockers you can chamber around just by pushing it in. So when he pushes it down, he chambers and walks up. The thing is that he chambered, walked up, and then started following after the dude that was about to attack him.
All bad.
And that's on the rest of the crowd. But then it turns into a thing. He got suspended, not because he grabbed this girl, not because he drew his firearm, but because he started chasing after the person that was going to attack him. So everybody, when I showed the video, said, okay, what's your reaction to this? All the students saying different things. You shouldn't grab a girl by her hair. He shouldn't have pulled out his gun and pointed at those people. And I go, I understand. I get their opinions
from a civilian.
And then I show them the beginning of the video.
Because
what's the beginning? You started in the middle.
You get context.
Yes. There's context now. You see that the officer made contact. All these people are having a huge loud block party. It's one officer waiting for his backup to come, and he goes to make contact. He puts his hand out. He tries to control the situation. This black girl gets in his face and starts snapping her hands like this, saying, I need you to leave, blah, blah, blah. And he's telling her, he has his hand on his chest. He's putting his arm out, like, ma'am, because I'm trying to get you to calm down. I just need I need you to stop doing this. And she started saying the same thing. It's because I'm black, I'm doing this. It's because my race, this is the reason why you're coming here. If it was a white block party, you wouldn't do this. So she goes, what are you going to do if a black female pushes you? Are you going to just shoot me? So she starts shoving him. She has these long ass nails and starts clawing at his neck. She's swinging
lucky
at
he
him.
Didn't shoot her.
So he grabbed her and put her down. And that's when the video starts.
Because you have to incapacitate him as quickly as possible.
All they see, and they try to justify her. And then when they're like, well, now we understand that he grabbed her, but then why did he pull his gun? I was like, law enforcement is trained that if someone comes on their dominant side where the firearm is, they are allowed to draw and chamber.
Yes, if you feel your life is in danger.
Your life is in danger because what's stopping, and you're outnumbered. They're like, oh, but he has pepper spray. I was like,
the fuck?
To do what? To do what? You spray a bunch of people, and if you've been pepper sprayed, you're still active.
What are you going to do, piss off a rabbit?
You're going to spray and clear the crowd and try your best to try and control the situation, but he was in his right to do it. He was in suspension because he took the firearm out, brandished it down, and then went after that guy. And
you left.
He left the scene, and rather than protecting himself, he started walking like, I'm going to push you back. And it sucks is because it's a reaction. There's been times that I've had to go put someone in mechanical restraints, and I'm outnumbered. It's me and another person. I used to be posted outside in front of the club, in front of a light, and there would be a guy fighting with his girl. Or no, the girl like attacking the guy because a girl was flirting with her man inside of the club. So she's scratching at her neck and shit. And you go to grab her and pull her off, and now the boyfriend is mad because you're putting hands on his girl. So now you got to stop him. And you're holding one girl, fighting the other guy, and all it looks like is pedestrians coming around the
Right.
corner.
I was gonna say you got bystanders.
Everybody's looking at you,
Right.
and what does everybody
Now you
have?
got a crowd.
A fucking phone.
Right.
So
Now
they're
you
all
got a
recording
crowd.
at you. Stop beating that person up. Why are you being so aggressive with that
Yes.
female?
Yes.
I'm like, you realize that she was the aggressor.
Right.
She was hurting that person. You're screaming at everybody to get the fuck back
Right.
while trying to put the restraints
Yep.
on them.
And they're accusing you.
Trying to call for backup. Your rig's falling off, so it's
Right.
all over the place. Now you have 20, 30 people recording you, trying to play Captain Save-A-Ho because
Yes.
they don't know the scenario, and they're
Yes.
in there trying to hurt you
Yes.
when you were trying to stop this girl from attacking this person.
Right.
Or vice versa. A guy strangling his girl, you go to stop the guy, and then the girl's like, "Why, I love him." And
Right.
it's
She'll
me.
fight you.
She'll fight you when you were trying to save her life, so you have to put her down. And it's like,
We've both been through that, by
Yes,
the way.
but-
it's whatever.
to wrap it up.
Yeah. So all I pretty much brought that up to discuss was that get all the facts. Context is everything. And as an African American, whether you're mixed, full-blooded black from Uganda, Wakanda, Indonesia,
Uganda.
wherever,
That sounds like a fucking disease.
Uganda's real.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Wakanda.
No, Uganda.
Uganda?
Yeah, it's
Uganda, Uganda, Wakanda?
No.
Have you ever-
I was
you ever gone to Wakanda?
Because they sounded alike. Stop it. You're not going to make me racist, too. First of all, practice intelligence. When a cop pulls you over, if you feel something's going to go down, do everything in your power to make that cop feel comfortable.
Try to control the situation to the best of your abilities without putting
I don't care about your
life-
race. I don't care where you came from. I don't care about your background history. Whatever it takes for you to survive that interaction with that officer, do it. That's the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
Do not lead cops in a high-speed chase.
Just do
not
it.
run away from
You
an
lose
officer.
at that point. If
do
you're-
not brandish a weapon. You will get shot.
If you're not able to talk yourself out of the situation, because obviously, like I said, not all officers are perfect. You're going to have ones that are going to abuse power more than others.
Yeah.
It becomes a game of chess. Being logical enough to be able to either convince that officer that you did nothing wrong,
Right.
or being able to get them to agree with you so you both leave on good terms. The minute you lose your temper and
Yeah.
start freaking out saying, well, let me get out of the car, or
It's
let
a
me do
wrap.
this, you lose all ability to control the situation
wrap.
because now they have the right as representatives of that
Defend
state
themselves. Yes.
to defend themselves and control you.
Yes.
Meaning you have no ability to talk out of it. People do all that shit. They'll talk a bunch of shit. And they'll try to talk with you.
I know
And then
my rights.
when they get mad and they try to go above and they go hands on, they're like, well, I was just trying to do this. It's like, you
No.
should have fucking thought about that before you decided to touch me.
Right. Keep your mouth shut. So, that's just stay mindful, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
And like I said, my conclusion to that situation is it was justified. The shots were a little excessive, but unfortunately he fucked up in all the right ways.
Different
And
time
that's the
zones, different
outcome.
places. Shit happens. Another one bites the dust.
Like I said, if you made it this far, thank you so much.
Hey.
Feel free to go ahead and go over to our
Hey,
Teespring,
thanks.
buy some merch just to show us the love.
Ooh.
Go ahead and check us out on Patreon. Sign up for a subscription.
Cannot wait.
Go ahead and check us out on TikTok. Leave us a follow.
Do it.
Please go to YouTube, like, share, comment, subscribe,
Oh,
ring the bell.
Those things.
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that other fun stuff.
It's hot in here.
And Anchor. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Music.
Everywhere.
Please say hello to me.
Forever.
I'm D.
This is Lynn.
Project Airwaves. Keep your head in the clouds.
And keep your feet on the ground. Always moving
We will
forward.
catch you in the next episode. You did so good.
Bye.